March 20, 2025, will be etched in the annals of Canadian diplomacy as a day of profound shock and despair. The news of the executions sent waves of grief and outrage throughout the nation. China executed 4 dual Canadian-Chinese citizens convicted of drug-related offenses, sending ripples of alarm across the international community. The severity of the punishment and the swiftness of its execution left many in disbelief. Prior to the executions, the Canadian government, led by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Foreign Minister Melanie Joly, had been engaged in a desperate race against time. Diplomatic channels were buzzing with activity as officials worked tirelessly to prevent the tragic outcome. Appeals for clemency, laden with humanitarian concerns, were dispatched to Beijing with urgency. Yet China remained unmoved, meeting the pleas for mercy with cold silence. The lack of response from Chinese officials only deepened the sense of hopelessness. Global affairs. Canada spokesperson Charlotte MacLeod reiterated Canada's staunch opposition to the death penalty, a stance that fell on deaf ears in Beijing. The diplomatic fallout from this event is expected to strain relations between the two nations for years to come. China's response to the international outcry was swift and unambiguous. Beijing maintained that it is a nation governed by the rule of law, where justice is blind to nationality. For individuals holding both Canadian and Chinese passports, Beijing's position was clear. Within China, they were subject to Chinese law. This rigid interpretation of citizenship placed the 4 condemned individuals in a precarious legal limbo, stripped of their Canadian identities in the eyes of the Chinese judiciary. China's use of capital punishment has long been a source of international scrutiny and debate. The nation holds one of the world's highest execution rates, a testament to its severe and unforgiving legal system. The execution of foreign nationals, particularly from Western nations, has been rare, amplifying the shockwaves sent by the execution of the 4 Canadians. The lack of access to independent legal representation and the potential for coerced confessions fueled anxieties about the fairness of China's legal proceedings. Beyond law, a message experts decipher Beijing's motives. The swiftness and severity of the executions left many observers grappling with a disquieting question. Were these executions merely the impartial application of Chinese law, or did they represent a calculated act of political retribution? The rapid pace at which these events unfolded caught the international community off guard, raising concerns about the underlying motives behind such drastic measures. Peter Humphrey, an expert on China's legal system, described the execution of multiple foreign nationals in quick succession as unprecedented, and a clear message from Beijing. He emphasized that this move was not just about enforcing the law, but also about showcasing China's willingness to assert its dominance and control. The timing of the executions, amid heightened tensions between China and Canada, fueled speculation that they were intended to send a chilling message to the wider international community. Analysts pointed out that this could be a strategic maneuver to demonstrate China's resolve in the face of international pressure and to deter other nations from challenging its authority. The message seemed clear: China would not hesitate to use its legal system as a tool of statecraft. This approach highlighted the intertwining of legal and political strategies, where the law becomes an instrument to achieve broader geopolitical objectives. The executions underscored the growing complexities of navigating China's rise on the global stage. As China continues to expand its influence, understanding the multifaceted nature of its actions becomes crucial for the international community. The world watches closely, trying to decipher the intricate balance between law, politics, and power in Beijing's playbook. A relationship in freefall, years of mounting tensions. The executions unfolded against a backdrop of rapidly deteriorating relations between Canada and China. Over the years, what once seemed like a promising partnership has turned into a series of confrontations and diplomatic standoffs. The arrest of Meng Wanzhou, a top executive at Huawei in Canada in 2018 at the behest of the United States, marked a turning point. This incident not only strained diplomatic ties but also had significant economic repercussions. Within days of Meng's arrest, 2 Canadians, Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, were detained in China on vague charges of espionage. Their detentions were seen as a direct response to Meng's situation, further complicating the already tense relationship. The detentions, widely seen as retaliatory, highlighted the risks faced by foreign nationals in China amid escalating geopolitical tensions. This situation created a climate of fear and uncertainty for many expatriates living and working in China. Accusations of Chinese interference in Canadian elections further inflamed public opinion in Canada and hardened the resolve of Canadian policymakers. These allegations have led to increased scrutiny and a call for stronger measures to protect the integrity of Canada's democratic processes. Unanswered questions, heightened fears, the global impact. The executions of the 4 Canadians left a trail of unanswered questions and heightened anxieties across the international community. The lack of transparency surrounding the cases and the specter of political motivations fueled concerns about the safety of other foreign nationals detained in China. At the time of the executions, approximately 100 Canadians were languishing in Chinese prisons, many on drug-related charges. The executions raised profound questions about the future of diplomacy in an era of great power competition. China's willingness to disregard international norms sent a chilling message to the world. The future uncertain, charting the course through diplomatic fallout. The executions cast a long shadow over the future of Canada-China relations, leaving a legacy of mistrust and uncertainty. The incident marked a new low in a relationship that had been on a downward trajectory for years. Calls for a fundamental reassessment of the bilateral relationship grew louder, with some advocating for a decoupling of economic ties. The executions underscored the need for greater international cooperation to address the challenges posed by China's rise. The path forward for Canada-China relations remains shrouded in uncertainty, with diplomats and policymakers tasked with finding a way to manage differences and prevent further escalation. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay intrigued, and see you in the next one.